Hey folks, so something very interesting happened this week on Wednesday. Bill Gates, one of the few guys who've been lecturing us about the existential crisis that is posed by human created climate change. Somehow, this guy who has spent billions of dollars funding these so called climate change curbing efforts wrote an essay 3 days ago. He says, climate change is serious, but we've made great progress. We need to keep backing the breakthroughs that will help the world reach zero emissions. But we can't cut funding for health and development programs that help people stay resilient in the face of climate change. To do it, it's time to put human welfare at the center of our climate strategies, which include reducing the green premium to zero and improving agriculture and health in poor countries. Folks, what happened to nothing else matters? We're going to be dead in 10 years. Nothing else matters. The most important thing is fighting the climate crisis. But instead, Bill Gates is telling us that we need to focus our goals to preventing human suffering, particularly for those in the toughest conditions in the world's poorest countries. Let me tell you how you prevent human suffering in some of the world's poorest countries by not cutting carbon based power. Yep. Because they need everything depends on power, everything depends on energy, everything depends on your ability to warm yourself, the ability to cook your food, and the ability to light your house. That's just a simple fact. If you can't do those things, I don't care what anyone else tells you about anything. If you are not able to cook your food in an affordable fashion, if you're not able to light your house in an affordable fashion, if you're not able to warm your house, as the Europeans have figured out with regards to Russian oil and gas, nothing else matters. And since Bill Gates is no longer at Microsoft, he's focused on this work that has been done by the Gates Foundation. A lot of the work that they do has to do with this climate change bullshit. Well, I mean, they do good work in HIV and AIDS and TB and malaria, but a lot of the work they do has to do with this climate bullshit. So it's been very interesting. It's been very, very interesting to see that he is, at the very least, the problem with leftists is that they would do anything to maintain their leftist brownie points, to be part of the I'm part of the group. So, which is why he's not going to come out and say, you know what, climate change is bullshit, we're out of here. No, he's not going to come out and say that. But this is, for someone like Bill Gates, this is something as closest to saying climate change is bullshit as anyone could. Because the most important thing in the world is that are people able to get jobs? Are people able to feed themselves and clothe themselves and shelter themselves and get health care for their children? Are people able to warm their houses, cook food, light their houses affordably? That's most people everywhere in the world, and I've been to, well, 3 continents. Most people in the world are concerned about these things. They're not concerned about all of these theoretical debates that are happening in the West. The problem, a lot of this climate change crap, it's because the West has developed so much that it can afford to be engaged in these bullshit debates. That's really what the issue is. In his essay, Bill Gates, he continues to say, to be clear, climate change is a very important problem. It needs to be solved, along with other problems like malaria and malnutrition. Every tenth of a degree of heating that we prevent is hugely beneficial because a stable climate makes it easier to improve people's lives. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Samandla Jehovah. Thixo. Oh, Samandla Ngcwele. I've been learning about warming and investing billions in innovation to reduce it for over 20 years. I work with scientists and innovators who are committed to preventing a climate catastrophe and making it cheap, reliable, clean energy available to everyone. but, but right now, he thinks that the most important thing for us as humans is not to worry ourselves about climate alarmism. The most important thing is for us to worry about, are people healthy? Are people well fed? Do people have shelter? Do people have solutions for the diseases that affect them? Which I could basically say, well, Bill, it seems to me that you've become a conservative because that's what we've been saying all along. That the most important thing is the basic human needs that people have. Do they have food? Do they have shelter? Do they have energy? Can they live their lives and pursue their dream? Then we can think about all that other theoretical stuff. It seems that you've come around, eh? You've come around. And then he says, so I urge everyone at COP30 to ask, how do we make sure that aid spending is delivered to, is delivering the greatest possible impact for the most vulnerable people? Is the money designated for climate being spent on the right things? Oh, okay, Bill. Is money being designated for climate being spent on the right things? And he says, I believe the answer is no. Oh, shit. You do? Oh, you do, Bill? Sometimes the world acts as if any effort to fight climate change is a worthwhile as any other. As a result, less effective projects are diverting money and attention from efforts that will have more impact on human condition, namely making it affordable to eliminate all greenhouse gas emissions and reducing extreme poverty with improvements in agriculture and health. In short, climate change, disease, and poverty are all major problems. We should deal with them in proportion to the suffering. What? To the to the proportion. We should deal with them in proportion to the suffering they cause. We should deal with poverty, climate change, and disease in proportion to the suffering they cause. And we should use data to maximize impact of every action we take. Oh man, this is wild. Oh, this is wild. This is so wild. Oh, this is so. Just- oh man. Whew. Folks, I think, okay, I don't think that Bill Gates is a conservative now or that he's become a conservative. But what I think is happening is that Bill is having a pre-conservative awakening. I think that's what's happening. He's having a moment where he's starting to realize that, wait, the shit I've been doing, the shit I've been putting money on, doesn't seem to me like is making any difference. And he's starting to think outcomes before action. And when he's thinking outcomes first before action, he is not coming to the conclusion that climate alarmism is the best use of his billions of dollars of fortune. Yep, yep. And to that, I would say, wow, Bill, join the club. Maybe we're gonna see Bill Gates now starting to fund like like nuclear power projects or things like that. Maybe not. We will see. But this has been very interesting for me because this climate change alarmism crap has been. I mean, as someone who studied chemical engineering, it's folks. What can I say? What can I say? The only thing that I can say is that do what Bill said. That's all I'm gonna say. Do what Bill said. You see what the I'm gonna attach this Bill Gates essay onto the description below, and my opinion is that when it comes to climate change, poverty, what else, health, deal with these issues according to the proportion of the impact and the damage and the suffering that they cause. And if you follow the scientific method of that and you follow the data, you know that our most immediate problem is not climate change. Our most immediate problem is human suffering caused by the fact that people don't have opportunities, they don't have jobs, they don't have food, and things like that. That's the most pressing issue when it comes to proportionally the impact that has been caused. But Bill, welcome to the club of the sane and rational people.